And welcome everybody. This is the Unified Division game here over on Field 2 as part of the 2013 Special Olympics North America Softball Invitational. And you just saw a very special moment there. Michael Wolf, who was injured for Team Oklahoma, the Fighting Peacocks. He was injured in Friday's game. Had to have a special at-bat there and wheeled down to first base. So that was an excellent little moment there. So alongside Casey Bowles and Amy Dugan, and we are pleased to have with us Amanda Freed, a former gold medalist. I'm Tom Monfiletto. This is Strive's coverage of the Softball Invitational, and we'll be bringing you today's action on 2014 SpecialOlympics.org. You can catch all of the streaming action. We have another game going on at Field 3, and Mike Sampson will have the call of that. And right now we have the Oklahoma Fighting Peacocks against Team Illinois. Both teams very, very strong teams. You see some great athletes here in today's game. But, Amy, if you can, let's go over real quick and recap. We did this in the first game, but if you could do a little bit of explaining of what the Unified Division really means and how important it is to the Special Olympics.
Absolutely. Unified Sports is unique to Special Olympics in that we pair athletes with and without intellectual disabilities on the same team, and not only raises a level of play for our Special Olympics athletes, but it really speaks to the overall mission of Special Olympics, which is if you play unified, you're more likely to live unified. And there's nothing that helps you understand someone else like being in the trenches with them, being out there on the field and playing side by side with them. So it's a really fantastic program. Anybody of any age can do it. We can do it for almost any sport. So we're going to see some great unified played out here today.
And so it does go across different sports. And we're going to see that in the 2014 games?
Absolutely. When 2014 USA Games will be actually the most inclusive games we've ever offered with the most unified sports ever offered. So whether it's relay teams, whether it's soccer, volleyball, we even have unified golf. Alternate stroke play, so we can make sure that anyone who has a passion to get out here and play and be active and compete can do so alongside our athletes. And you know, the folks who are here, they're going to get some medals too, so it's all good.
So that'll be great. Amy, we wanted to thank you for having us here. We want to thank Moose International, the sponsor of the Invitational. We want to thank all the volunteers that have helped out. I want to thank everybody that's helped us put this thing together. Steve Carnival, Rachel Gary, everybody's been super accommodating, and we really appreciated it. We really appreciate it here over at Strive, and we look to have another exciting game as we just had North Carolina defeating Texas by a score of 17-5. And we're going to start action here as Matt Walker, the shortstop for Oklahoma, will step up to the plate for the Fighting Peacocks.
Shortstop number 2, Matt Walker. Batting second in right center field, number 11, Joe Maddox.
And the first one in for a strike there to
Batting
Walker.
third, the left center fielder, number 6, Walter Crane. Batting fourth, doing the catching, number 10, Brad Tanner. Batting fifth, Foreman. Batting sixth, playing right field, number 24, Steve Sposato. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 9, Garrett Crane. Batting eighth,
and this one skied out to the left
Justin
field.
Dunn.
And this one is caught.
Batting ninth at third base, number 22,
Adam
Dylan
Schermleffel.
Batting 10th, playing first base, number 12, Luke Gallman. Oklahoma is coached by Alicia Jory.
Joe Maddox at the plate for the Fighting Peacocks. This one is fouled back, so it's an 0-2 count here. We have one out in the inning.
And now for the home team, the delegation of Illinois. Batting first, extra hitter number
hop
17,
to third.
Mark McMahon. Batting second, doing the pitching, number 23,
We have two outs
Steve
here
Lawson.
in the top of the first inning.
Batting third, playing left center field, number 32, Stephen Lawson. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 15,
We want to welcome in our
Shane
color
Kirby.
analysts for today. We're lucky enough to have Amanda
Batting
Freed and
fifth,
Casey
playing
Bowles with us. And
shortstop,
Amanda,
number 13,
Casey was with us in the
Keith
first game, and I just wanted to say thanks. And
Batting
how
sixth,
have you been
in left field,
enjoying the
number
weekend
38,
so far?
Aaron
Oh, I've
Schonleppel.
been having a great time. I love coming out
Batting
here, and
seventh at third base,
it's such
number
good
4,
competition
Darren
on both
Garr.
the traditional and the unified side, and
Batting eighth,
just seeing
and
these
playing right
athletes
field,
rise to the
number
occasion,
14,
really love what
Bernie
they do.
Harms.
I mean, it kind of brings me back and makes me love the game all over again.
Batting ninth,
I can't
and
believe the
right center
level
field, number
of
7,
play that we're
Tommy
seeing in this
Dalton.
game right here. I mean, my
Batting 10th,
goodness. We
extra
have some
hitter,
people
number
taking
10,
some serious
Nicole
hacks.
Pitts.
That first hit by Walker was skied out to left field. Great play out there.
Number 44, Bodie
and this one
Spees.
Or to third base.
And batting 12th and playing second
And that'll be
base,
the third out of the inning.
Chris
So
Ward.
cut you off there a little bit, Amanda, but we'll get back to you in the bottom of the first
Your
inning.
umpires today are
And
Jim
we'll be back
Banerjee
right after
and
this.
Lisa DeLulo.
Let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt.
This September on EKS Day, people around the world will carry on Eunice Kennedy Shriver's campaign for inclusion, acceptance, and unity.
The days of separation and segregation are over.
Play unified to live unified.
I used to never really talk, ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
Welcome in to the bottom of the first inning here. We have Team Oklahoma and Team Illinois in the Unified Division. No runs in the first inning for the Fighting Peacocks. And this one in for a ball. Got 1-1. 3-1 is the count here. Oh, that will be ball 4. So, Team Illinois.
For Team Illinois batting second, the pitcher, number 23, Steve Lawson.
Starts off with a runner on second base. And Lawson drills this one out to right field. This one will be in for a base hit. In to score is McMahon. So Team Illinois on the board first.
Batting third, playing left center field, number 32, Stephen Lawson.
Stephen Lawson, the son of Steve Lawson, up at the plate for Team Illinois. And this one down for a ball, count 1-0. This one grounded sharply to first. That'll get into right center field. Papa Lawson will get in safely to third base as Steve will go in with a stand-up double. So nobody out here. Runners on second and third. Coming up to the plate is Shane Covey.
The first baseman, number 15, Shane Covey.
This one drilled out to right center field, slicing to the right. And that'll be down for a base hit. And Covey will advance to second on the throw. So one more run comes across for Team Illinois. So we have runners on second and third here. Still nobody out in the frame.
Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 13, Keith Nipmeyer.
First pitch to Nipmeyer is outside for a ball. Count 1-0. There's in for a strike. 2-2 to Nipmeyer. And this one fouled off down the left field line. Now the count is 2-2. And this one drilled out to right field. And corralled in by Sposato. In to score is Lawson. So another run on the board, but a great play by Sposato out in right field. For the first out of the inning.
Aaron Schaumleffel.
Schaumleffel made a great play out in left field. A high fly ball for the first out of the inning in the top of the first. And this one in for a ball. And grounded to short. Walker up with it and over to first. The second out of the inning, a run will score. So that'll make it 4-0 here, Illinois, in the bottom of the first.
Batting seventh, the third
2 outs and Garrett Crane up to
Darren Darr.
Darren Darr up to bat. Off the glove of Pruitt, and Darr will reach base safely here with 2 outs in the frame. I want to welcome in our color analysts here, Amanda Freed and Casey Bowles. You guys are having some introducing yourselves to one another, and both of you guys have played Division I softball, right? How does the game differ in that? You know, these fields are playing on baseball fields, so the fences are a little bit deeper. But when you guys play in Division I softball, Olympic softball, small ball is a really huge part of the game. So there's a lot of bunting, there's a lot of moving the runner over, a lot of situational hitting. Whereas here in this situation, I would just imagine it's a lot more based on power. But is that a kind of a misstated thing that there's not really that much long ball being played in Division I softball?
I think that it's coming more common nowadays. I think a while ago short ball was a big part of the game, which I do still think it is a very big part of the game. However, now you're starting to see different swings, more of a baseball type swing, so you're getting more of the long ball, and it's mixing in well with the short ball, so it kind of gives you more opportunity for more strategy.
Right. So when you guys were taught to swing, were you taught to kind of break your swing a little bit earlier, to have a really short, quick swing where you roll over quickly, or no?
No, not at all. I mean, the swing has basically been taught the same for years, but I think with the development of or the technology that's been coming out, and things are always being tweaked. So I think because the bats have become livelier, the balls have become livelier, the fences, have been at the same distance, so more balls are leaving the park. So girls are noticing that, so we're seeing less of the long ball. I mean, less of the short game, but still obviously very valuable in it. But I think just how the game has progressed and developed, I think, is why we're seeing that.
What position did you play, Amanda?
I was a utility pitcher, outfield.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Casey, what position did you play?
Second, third outfield.
Okay. Well, out of all those, what was your favorite position to play?
Second. I played that mostly.
Yeah. What about you, Amanda?
Pitcher.
Pitcher. Okay.
Had to be in the action. But not like this. I mean, the way that this ball comes in, sometimes back at that pitcher, they've got to have some good reaction time.
What kind of pitches did you have in your repertoire, Amanda?
Oh gosh, well, I had a little of everything, I guess you would say. I had a rise ball, drop, a curve, a changeup, and a screwball.
Okay.
So unlike baseball, the screwball goes into a right-handed batter, curveball goes away, the drop obviously goes down, rise ball.
What was your out pitch? What was your swing and miss pitch?
Probably my changeup.
Okay.
Can I answer that for her? It's her changeup.
Yeah, going into college, I had a really, really good rise ball, but then again, with the long ball, you realize that's not always going to be the most effective.
And this one is corralled in by...
And a great catch.
It's right fielder Bernie Harms at the plate. That was Gage Foreman.
Sixth, the right fielder, number 24, Steve Sposato.
So Sposato steps to the plate, 1 out here in the top of the second inning. So one in for a strike.
I think you still see a lot of strategy even within the slow pitch games that's similar, I would think, to fast pitch. I mean, little things like hitting behind the runner and advancing the runner and positioning your outfielders in a certain way depending on the batter. But I think there's still a lot of strategy that's similar.
Oh. And this one is skied out to right field, and Sposato overruns the base runner on first. So as this gets situated, one of the runners will be safe and one of them will be out. So Tanner will stay at first, the catcher for the Fighting Peacocks, as Sposato will come out of the game. So it'll be 2 outs here with the runner on first, the top of the second inning. Casey, at Oklahoma, was Texas still a huge rival in all sports, or is that just a football thing?
No, it's still a big rival. I mean, of course, the Red River rivalry is the biggest with the football team. But anytime we would go down and play Texas, it is still a big rival.
Batting seventh.
It's a state-on-state rival. I don't think there's sports, but it's a state-on-state rival.
Okay. Garrett Crane, the hitter here for the Oklahoma Fighting Peacocks. Count now 1-1. And this one is crushed. Deep left field. And this will go off the wall. Tanner into third. And he's going to send him. But Tanner is out at the plate. Tremendous relay there by Team Illinois, keeping the shutout going. So as we head into the bottom of the second inning, Illinois still leads 4-0. But we saw that ball was absolutely crushed there by Garrett Crane in the left field off the wall. And Crane almost forced Tanner to go home because he was running so fast. And Amanda, was for UCLA, was USC your biggest rival?
USC didn't have a softball team.
No? Do they now?
No,
they don't.
No.
Do your part to make the 2013
so they've never had one, and everyone keeps, asking them why, because obviously being in Southern California, you would think they'd be able to field a very competitive team, but just, I don't know if it's a zoning issue, a Title IX thing, but just never have had a softball team.
So who were the studs of the conference when you were? It was the Pac-10 when you played, right?
Yep, it was the Pac-10. So, well, our biggest rival was probably Arizona.
Okay.
Between the two of us. I think it still stands. We have the most national championships across the board. So every time we went there, they came and played us. It was, you never knew what was going to come of it. It could be a 10-9, it could be a 0-0 going into 15 innings. So you just never knew what it brought, and that was the game of the year for us.
When you look back on your softball playing experience, do you look back more fondly on your days at UCLA or in the Olympics?
That's a tough question.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked it.
There's such different times in my life. When you go to college, I mean, it's your first opportunity to be an adult and be on your own, and you have so many new experiences, and many of them revolve around softball. And so in that sense, college had so much influence on me, and I absolutely loved it. And then the national team, obviously, I mean, I can't say enough things about what that did for me, and the places I got to travel to and the people that I met and those experiences. So very, very different. My first national championship at UCLA was the biggest highlight of my career.
Were you pitching?
I pitched the last half of the game, so I came in like a save situation.
So, and were you in the field when you won?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in the circle.
Dog pile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
what did you do after you won? Did you raise your hand? Do you remember what the motion was?
I do. It was a ground out, force out at second, and I just remember turning, and like a huge wave of relief came over me because, I mean, I was a freshman and I was put in a situation where I think we were up by 1 run playing Washington, and it was just I'd never been in that situation before, and so my heart rate was at probably 150 for 3 innings straight, and when the game ended, it was such a big sigh of relief. I don't know if my arms went up. I don't think I had the strength.
Do you now think about your celebration before that happens? Does that go through your head during the inning?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
you can't do that. No.
Yeah, I feel like I did that way too much, and then I just never won. So
exactly.
I guess it's pretty much a jinx there. Bodie Spites up for Team Illinois. This one in for a strike.
You have to watch this first base.
This one skied out to center field. Coming in and making the play.
That was beautiful.
What a catch. That's Steve Spazzato out there. So that'll end the inning here. We have 3 outs in the frame. Score remains 4-0 as Team Oklahoma will come to the plate in the top of the 3rd inning, and we'll be back with more of the Softball Invitational right after this.
It was senior year and the whole school was cheering for her. And just seeing the smile on her face and then looking at the whole school and people were crying and people were cheering and just seeing how the whole school came together just for her was the most amazing thing ever.
Special Olympics has changed my life so dramatically.
I truly realize that what I'm doing is for a great cause.
It's helped me a lot to be fearless, you know, in the real world.
I learned that friendship doesn't have limits.
My friends I've made through Special Olympics are the best people I've ever met in my life. And it's not about disabilities, but it's about celebrating their abilities.
It makes you feel like a wonderful person and your life changes forever.
I've made a difference. Now it's your turn to make a difference.
We are champions together.
Making a difference every day.
Welcome back. It is the top of the 3rd inning here at the 2013 Special Olympics North America Softball Invitational. Dunn just popped out for the first out of the inning for the Fighting Peacocks. This is Dylan Pruitt. Lines out to center field. Good swing on that ball, though. So 2 outs here right away in the top of the 3rd inning. Team Illinois, Casey, have you been able to see them throughout the weekend? A very impressive team.
Yes, I have. And actually, the batter right now, he is very impressive. He plays with a single left arm. So he catches left and he throws left. I saw him make an amazing play the other day. Again, he plays first base. Ground ball was hit to shortstop. Ball came to first. He made a good stretch play. Caught the ball, popped up the glove. Popped up the ball, threw down the glove, caught the ball, and threw it to third.
Oh my gosh!
It was just amazing. I mean, just the skill level that he has, and to overcome, you know,
absolutely
just unbelievable. And the play has just been amazing.
This is why you come to events like this, so you see stories like this. As this one is lined up the middle and caught by Steve Lawson. So those are 3 quick outs, and we're going to head to the bottom of the frame here with the score: Illinois 4 and Oklahoma 2.
In ancient Rome, the gladiators went into the arena with these words on their lips: "Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt."
In 1968, a woman stood before a heartened crowd and announced to all who would listen that people with intellectual disabilities have a place in this world, and in doing so proved that one person has the power to change the lives of millions.
The right to play on any playing field, you have earned it. The days of separation and segregation are over.
This September on EKS Day, people around the world will carry on Eunice Kennedy Shriver's campaign for inclusion, acceptance, and unity. Play unified to live unified.
And Chris Warden to the plate for Team Illinois in the bottom of the 3rd. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Illinois in the field. And Warden, this one over to shortstop. Walker is up with it. Over to first, and this one is going to get by the first baseman as Warden will be in safely. So Gallman unable to scoop it. 1-hop throw by Walker, so we'll have a runner on first here with nobody out in the bottom of the frame. Mark McMahon at the plate, leadoff hitter for Team Illinois. Darby Bays into courtesy run at first base. McMahon came around to score in his first time on base. Pitch comes in 1-0. 2-0 is the count. Count 2-1 to the leadoff hitter. Great speed on the base paths. This one lined up the middle. It's caught by Foreman.
He had to take his mask off and breathe for a second for that one. That's what we're talking about, that reaction time on the mound.
I know. You see, this is the first time I've ever seen a pitcher use a mask, but now you see, you see why. These balls are crushed up the middle. And that one almost just made me fall out of my seat, and that wasn't even hit half as hard.
I think you're getting to see more of that, especially with the advancement in technology. Like Amanda was saying, with the bat, the balls are just coming off a lot harder than they ever have, and you're seeing that not only in slow pitch and co-ed and everything, but also in the JO leagues and stuff, where you're seeing a lot more players wear the mask at pitcher's area or first and third, just because those balls are really just screaming off the bats now.
Yeah, and do you remember John Olerud, who used to play first base for the Mariners and the Mets and the Yankees? He wore a helmet at first base, and that's even in the major leagues, and that's something that I've seen a lot at the college level as well. All these issues with concussions, that might be something that you see a little bit more, that might be a little bit more prevalent. "2-0 is the count to Steve Lawson. Father's on first base. 3-0 is the count. I would want to pitch the ball nowhere near the plate when I'm facing Steve Lawson. This one in for a strike, so the count is now 3-1. This one grounded hard to second base. Dunn unable to come up with it. Try over to second is not in time, so now we have runners at first and second.
First baseman Shane Covey.
With 2 outs here, and first baseman Shane Covey at the plate. So in for a ball count now 2-0 to the first baseman. Two and 1 the count. Count 3-1 to Covey. And Casey, you just saw a tough play at second base there. You ever get distracted when you got to turn a double play if a runner's coming in front of you? Is that a thing?
You try not to. I mean, I think that just knowing the situation that you have a runner on first, that's always a possibility, and you kind of, there's a part of it that you want them to be close enough to distract you so you could possibly do a tag and a throw.
Right.
But just being aware of the game, most of the time as a second baseman, you expect and know that they're going to be near you and just, reacting and making the best play you can.
When you guys were growing up playing softball and you would play these tournaments where you play 18 games in a weekend, right? Were there any players that you guys looked up to and you guys studied and watched and tried to emulate?
To learn how to become a member.
Well, Amanda was one of the players I looked up to.
Oh, look at this.
No, I think for me, it was always, like, Dot Richardson was always one that I really looked up to. I loved her emotion in the game. I loved her heart of the game. And just, she was kind of, to me, she was like the Pete Rose of softball.
Okay,
she was
so
just going and going and going and always hustling. And I really looked up to her growing up.
Amanda?
Wow. I mean, that's hard because I looked up to a lot of the softball players, but it really wasn't on TV flat out the way that it is now,
right.
And the girls aren't exposed they weren't exposed at the time the way that they are now. So there are so many good role models now for these girls growing up to look up to.
Mm-hmm.
And like Casey was saying, Dot was one of those big ones. Lisa was one of those big ones. I mean, anybody on an Olympic team you always looked up to because you wanted to, you know, emulate and follow. But now it's like you can find a player on a number of different teams that you identify with. And it's so great for these girls growing up because they all want to be college players. They all want to play on TV at the Women's College World Series, and they all can. And they have such great role models now that they can follow.
Do you wish when you guys played that it was a little bit more exposed, or you know, now it's available on ESPN3? It's a lot of games are being televised. Is that something that you might have wanted when you were playing?
I think, of course.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun being on TV. It's fun to play in that spotlight like that. And when we played, they televised quite a bit of the Women's College World Series, but now it's the regionals and the super regionals in every single game.
Yeah.
And during the season now we're seeing the Pac-12 network is going to be playing tons of softball games, the SEC network, all these different networks during the season that these girls are having an opportunity to play on TV and be exposed all year long. So it's so good for our sport.
Yeah, I agree with Amanda. I mean, of course you always want more exposure at the time, but you know, not trying to look back too much. I'm just enjoying seeing the constant exposure now.
And Walt Crane puts a charge into this one, and this one is out of here. A 3-run home run, putting Oklahoma within 1 run. That was a shot. Walt Crane putting his team to within 1. There's an appeal at third base. And it looks like they're going to sort this out, but it does look like all the runs will count, and that one was hit pretty decently. I mean, you got to get it up to get out of this park. I mean, I think it's about 300 down each line. Do you remember what the dimensions were when you guys played?
Catcher,
I think ours, I think there's a minimum and a maximum that you could have. And I think at UCLA down the line, we were pretty short. We were at 190, but our fences were 6 feet high. And then center field, I believe, was 220.
Did you guys take advantage of the short porch? Did you guys home run hitters?
Trying to turn on it?
Yeah.
I was never a home run hitter.
I was going to say, I was a punch the ball through the hole hitter.
More of a gap hitter, but we definitely had girls on our team who hit their fair share into the scoreboard.
Lawson over to first for the first out of the inning. So 1 out here for Oklahoma as the pitcher Foreman comes to the plate. This is up high for a ball.
Gage Foreman.
Amanda, have you ever faced a major league hitter by any chance, just for like a fun exercise to see if they could catch up with it?
I don't think I have. In high school, I did. Well, I faced who would become a Major League Baseball player. Bobby Crosby and I went to, I don't know if that name sounds familiar, but he played for the Athletics, and he was Rookie of the Year his first year. And we went to high school together, and he played baseball, obviously. And we had this, and this was only his first year. He ended up transferring, but we had been friends for a really long time, and we went out one day, out softball and baseball, and had a little fun, but it was nothing serious.
How'd you do?
You know what? I don't even really remember. I'm sure he whiffed it a bunch and maybe made contact with a few. I think he hit a foul ball and was all excited about it, but that's usually how it happens. They'll hit one and then drop the bat and say, oh, I'm good.
Yeah, this one drops in for a base hit by the right fielder Steve Sposato. So we'll have runners at first and third here with 1 out in the inning. Garrett Crane stepping to the plate. Garrett Crane put one off the left field fence his first time up. And with just 1 swing, he can do what Walt did, put 3 runs on the board. We're talking about working fast. Pitcher the ball barely touches the pitcher's glove, and this one lined into left center field, so this will be a run. And the game is now tied at 4 as Sposato into third base safely.
I've seen him play quite a bit this weekend, and he is so fun to watch play. I've seen him make some incredible catches out in the outfield, and just
second baseman Justin Dunn.
He's just fun to watch. He's just a little wiry, feisty little guy.
It looks like he only has one speed too, which is like 90 miles an hour. Justin Dunn, second baseman at the plate, looking to put Oklahoma ahead here at the top of the third. So ground to the shortstop, Nipmeyer, over to second to Warden, over to first, and a double play. That'll end the inning. Great play by the duo up the middle. So we will head to the bottom of the 4th inning as Oklahoma back on the board, and we have a tie game now, 4-4. We'll be back on Strive right after.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was scared and shy. It was hard to look at people's faces. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. I made friends and won lots of gold medals. But I learned more than just playing golf. Special Olympics helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
The bottom of the 4th inning, Illinois steps to the plate now with a tie score. So Oklahoma off a 3-run homer by Walt Crane. Quickly back into this game. Another RBI single by Garrett Crane tied the game up alongside Amanda Bowles. I'm Tom Monfiletto. This is Strive's coverage of the 2013 Special Olympics North America Softball Invitational. So over to third, and Pruitt over to first for the first out of the inning. That was quick. So Amanda and Casey, a lot of East Coast teams travel down south, and they travel to the West Coast in February and the beginning of the season. Did you guys ever take any trips to the East Coast to play when you were in college?
You know, I never did playing. I know being on the staff at OU for so long, we went to a couple regionals up in Maryland and in Massachusetts. Okay. So that was the only really time I came to the East Coast. So it's been really enjoyable kind of coming to this side of the country and seeing so much.
Ground ball cut. Pruitt trying to come up with it. This will go into the outfield and into second base safely. Good backup there by Foreman.
Yeah. How about that?
Into second base safely, that's the left fielder Adam Schermleffel. So we'll have a runner on second here with 1 out in the inning.
Dar.
First pitch to Dar is low for a ball. This one center field. In safely is Schermleffel, tagging up from second base. That was an excellent catch and throw there. That was Sposato out there in right field.
Right fielder Bernie Harms.
It's 2 outs here. Bottom of the 4th inning, runner on third, Bernie Harm at the dish. And this one popped to short center field. And this will drop in for a base hit. Sposato gets it into Foreman. So another run will score here for Illinois. They'll go up 5-4.
Dalt.
Tommy Dalt steps to the plate for Illinois, looking to add to this lead. 2 outs here and a runner on first. Outfield backing up here. Some space to Dalt. Dalt pops this one straight back. And this one is caught by Brad Tanner, the catcher, for the 3rd out of the inning. So we're going to head to the top half of the 5th inning with the score Illinois 5, Oklahoma 4.
At the end of 4 innings of play, our score, Team Illinois 5, Team Oklahoma 4. Special Olympics will return.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
And welcome back to the 2013 Special Olympics North America Softball Invitational. You can check out all of these streams on 2014specialolympics.org. We have 4 streams for you today. We're out here at Field 2 and Field 3 at Mercer County Park in West Windsor Township, New Jersey. Alongside Amanda Freed and Casey Bowles, I'm Tom Monfiletto. Mike Samsel has the call of the game on Field 3. We started one at 9 o'clock. The game on this field was a traditional division game between Texas and North Carolina. North Carolina took that one 17-5. We saw some great plays, some great defense. And in this game, we're seeing some great defense as well with some timely hitting. Coming up to bat for the Fighting Peacocks of Oklahoma, it's number 22, the 3rd baseman, Dylan Pruitt. We have a little bit of time here. Amanda, who were your teammates on the Olympics team?
My teammates on the Olympic team in 2004. You want me to name all of them?
No, just what some of the
put me
more.
on the spot.
About some of the more well-known ones.
Well, like our pitching staff, we had like Jenny Finch and
Okay.
Kat Osterman, Lisa Fernandez, Lori Harrigan.
Okay.
And then we had like Crystal Bustos, Jessica Mendoza,
Right.
Laura Berg, Leo Bryan,
And-
Stacy Newman.
Any of them from UCLA? Did you play with any of them at UCLA?
Yeah, I played with Taraya Flowers.
Okay.
She was first base utility on the national team. Natasha Watley played shortstop. Stacy Newman.
Cool.
And I think that's all for that year. Lisa Fernandez kind of jumped in and out of coaching while I was there. And, a 2000 Olympic athlete, Christy Ambrosi, was a senior when I was a freshman. So I had some good role models that I played with.
And Casey, you said that you got into coaching as well?
I was, after I finished college ball at Central Florida, I played 2 years at OU and 2 years at Central Florida, and then I went back to Oklahoma and was asked to be on the staff at the with the University of Oklahoma again as the director of ops.
Mhm.
So I was on that coaching staff for a while and learned a lot. I've been there for 6, almost 7 years, and then joined the ASA staff, but coached a lot of summer ball teams and lessons and stuff like that, and just really try to stay a part of the game as much as possible. Like,
How do you like coaching? What's the biggest difference for you between coaching and playing?
the athletes, you can't teach to be competitive, and when
Right.
you yourself are very, very competitive, sometimes you just want to jump out there and do what you're trying to teach.
Yeah.
When
did that? Because there's always a switch where you realize, okay, I'm done, because you want to go out there and you want to take ground balls, you want to take BP, but then you realize there's got to be a point where you realize it's not about you anymore, it's about these guys. Do you remember how long it took that switch to kind of turn?
When I couldn't throw the ball from third to first anymore because my arm's about to fall off. No, I think the switch was early because I was done with the playing part. I really enjoyed
Shortstop,
teaching
Matt
the
Walker.
younger generation, and not just the skills but the strategy of the game,
Right.
and teaching these young women athletes to continue to progress, but also to eventually be coaches themselves and continue to build the sport that we all love so much.
Now, when you play, if you're somebody that is as talented, you play at such a high level, I'd imagine that coaching is a pretty popular next step. Is that the
yes
case?
and no. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it depends on the individual. I think that you're seeing a lot more males in the coaching sport, and I think that we're really trying to encourage women, if that's the route that they want to take, to be prepared. There's sacrifices, especially as a woman and wanting to have kids and family and knowing the recruiting, and there's a lot of time away. So I think you can do it and you can be great at it. You have great examples out there of coaches that are doing an amazing job as both a professional and as a mother and a wife. So I think that's encouraging. So I think hopefully you'll see a lot more women continuing to want to strive and be a top coach.
Amanda, did you ever get into coaching after your playing days?
Did I did. I actually, right after I was done, and it kind of prompted the end of my playing, I took a job with the University of Virginia.
Okay.
So I coached there for a year before I played out in Japan. And I loved it. I was still playing at the time, so it was a tough juggle, but I couldn't agree more with what Casey said. And sometimes you look at these coaches and you think everything they do happens on the field, but that is completely not true. And I experienced it firsthand, and Casey did as well, how much time you spend morning into the evening and sometimes thinking about it all night, just what you can do to make your team better. The recruiting process takes a lot of time, the traveling outside of the actual season. So I really admire those coaches who are able to do it all, who can have a family and be a good wife, be a good mother, and be an excellent coach.
Are there more opportunities overseas than there are in the United States to play professionally?
Oklahoma 4.
Are there more opportunities?
Pretty hot outside, folks,
No,
so
I wouldn't say there are more, but there are some countries that are more ahead of us. In terms of like a professional league, Japan has probably the best professional league there is. They've been around a really long time. They've got a great system, but you're only allowed to have 2 foreign players per team. So there aren't as many opportunities over there for us Americans who want to go.
Okay.
Italy's got good professional opportunities. I think the Netherlands brings people over. The pay isn't as good, but it's a good opportunity for girls out of college or looking to travel to use that, kind of take advantage of that.
Right.
And then the professional league here is getting stronger every year, and hopefully very soon it will grow and become a place that athletes can really look forward to going to.
Right, yeah, I think it will. Alongside Amanda Freed and Casey Bowles, I'm Tom Monfiletto. This is Strive's coverage of the 2013 Special Olympics North America Softball Invitational here at Mercer County Park. This is the Game 1 on Field 2 of the Unified Division. As that's number 10, Nicole Pitts, rockets a ball into left field to start the inning off for Team Illinois. Team Illinois ahead of Team Oklahoma, the Fighting Peacocks, by a score of 5-4. Had some great defense, some excellent hitting in this game as well, as this one lined to left field, and this will be down for a base hit. Pitts will travel on to second base. No outs here. We have runners on first and second. One hit by Bodie Spites, the catcher for Team Illinois.
Talking about the intensity of these two teams, unfortunately the Oklahoma Peacocks, they lost a player the first day of competition here. He was rounding third and basically broke his ankle, and it was unfortunate, but I guess he had fractured it a little bit before, and it just kind of snapped back for him, and I think they've said it, and he's going back to have surgery when he gets home. But again, the intensity of this game is it's surreal sometimes.
It's outstanding. The speed of it is incredible too, as Pruitt gets the first out of the inning, getting the lead runner there in Pitts, and we'll have runners at first and second with one out. And that we just mentioned was Michael Wolf, who we saw as soon as the stream began. He came out in his wheelchair, and they let him get a swing. And he hit one back up the middle. So that was a cool little moment. So we at the top of the order now for Team Illinois. Mark McMahon at the plate.
And those who are kind of joining, maybe watching for the first time, or not familiar with unified softball, you might be under the impression that you come out and you kind of take it easy on the athletes and bring your level of play down if you're a partner, which is absolutely not the case out here. They play to their full ability, and in turn it really picks up the ability of the athletes as well, and it becomes a very competitive game.
And this one in the right center field, that'll drop for a base hit. Coming in to score is Spites, and he will score easily. So that's another run on the board for Team Illinois. We have runners at first and second with one out in the inning here. That's a 2-run lead for the 1 seed.
Extra hitter Steve Lawson.
Steve Lawson, the pitcher, stepping up to the plate. Lawson made a nice play earlier in the game with a hard shot right back at him. This one out to right field. He's going to find a hole, and this will drop for a base hit. And another run will cross the plate. Adam Schermleffel scoring for Illinois, so it'll be 7-4 now as the runners advance to second and third. Still only one out in the inning.
Left center fielder Stephen Lawson.
Now Stephen Lawson at the plate. I just love this stance. It's unbelievable. It's like Adam Dunn. This one in for a ball. Count 1-0. It's outside for a ball. Count now 2-0. Stephen Lawson takes a 3-0 for a ball. That'll be ball 4. Bases will be loaded here with one out in the inning. You got 2 bases on a walk here, so Mark McMahon will cross the plate for Illinois. Score will be 8-4 now with runners at second and third. Shane Covey at the plate for Team Illinois. This one in for a ball. Amanda, did you ever issue any intentional walks?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Part of the game.
Okay.
You have to be strategic, and as a pitcher, you never want to put somebody on for free because your ego tends to get in the way and you think you can get anybody out, but there's always going to be a situation in the game, and there's that one person that you don't want to be the one that hurts you, so you have to swallow your pride and do what's best for the team.
Have you ever refused?
No, I have never refused.
Okay.
Shortstop Keith Nippmeyer.
I've highly given my opinion when the coaches come out and ask me what I would like to do.
As Illinois gets another run on the board from a sac fly right there. And Nippmeyer grounds this one to second base. This will get past Dunn. And Stephen Lawson will come in to score. The score now will be 10-4 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Left fielder Aaron Schermleffel.
Just a defensive switch here. You know, the right fielder and the second baseman are going to switch positions. Schermleffel at the plate for Team Illinois. Count now 0-1. And this one drilled out to left field. Back at the track, and this one is caught. Great play there by Crane. So that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. Illinois puts a few more runs on the board, and they lead Oklahoma by a score of 10-4 as we enter the 6th inning of play here at Mercer County Park. You're watching Strive's coverage of the 2013 Special Olympics North America Softball Invitational. We'll be back right after this.
Let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt.
This September on EKS Day, people around the world will carry on Eunice Kennedy Shriver's campaign for inclusion, acceptance, and unity.
The days of separation and segregation are over.
Play unified to live unified.
The Special Olympics 2013 North America Softball Invitational would like to thank the Amateur Softball
And this Softball Invitational is brought to you by Moose International. We want to thank all of our volunteers that have been helping out all weekend. It's been a tremendous weekend. It has been a huge success. We want to thank our hosts, Mercer County Park. And most of the, a lot of the events in the 2014 games will be taking place right here at Mercer County Park. And you can catch these streams on 2014 I'm sorry, yeah, 2014, specialolympics.org. You can catch all of these streams. There should be 2 going on at once, including this unified division game between Team Illinois and Team Oklahoma. You can check that out online. You can also check that out on
Leading off the top of the 6th for Team Oklahoma, center fielder
on demand afterwards. So Walt Crane steps to the plate. Homered his last time at bat. On this one, the deep center field. And it'll be corralled in, so Crane puts a charge into this one, but not enough for the first out of the inning.
Catcher Brad Tanner.
Brad Tanner, the cleanup hitter and catcher for the Oklahoma Fighting Peacocks, will step up to the plate. This one grounded to shortstop. Nipmeyer up with it and over to first. Almost scooped out. Have a little bit of a collision here. That's why we have that extra base, the double base on first. So Tanner looks like he's okay. Shakes it off, and that'll bring Sposato up to the plate. Or that'll bring Foreman up to the plate, I'm sorry.
Foreman.
Take a minute here to just check on Tanner. One out here in the bottom of the 6th. Strike 1 comes into Foreman. This one drilled to center field. Looks like it might be a little bit too high. So this will be the 2nd out of the inning. Runner on first here with 2 outs. Stepping up to the plate is Steve Sposato, outfielder for Team Oklahoma. Getting somewhat of a David Ortiz shift here from the infield. This one in for a strike. Count now 0-1. So I'm grounded sharply to second base. Dunn unable to come up with it. We'll have runners at first and second here with 2 outs after a hard shot there by Sposato. Keeping the inning going here for Garrett Crane. Garrett Crane more than capable of making this a 1-run game here. Or I'm sorry, a 3-run game here. Crane an outstanding swing, a lot of power. After the inning? After the inning, can we? Okay. Count now 1-1 to Crane. 2 outs here. This one skied to center field. Plenty of room out there. This one will be taken in for the 3rd out of the inning. And I wanted to thank Amanda Freed for being here and talking with us and talking shop here, talking about your playing days and just the game of softball in general. And we just wanted to say thank you. And I think you're going to go over to the other field to help out there for a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm going to go talk shop over at
all right,
the other field.
Sounds good. All right, that's Amanda Freed helping us out here. Having some great color commentary, some great analysis here. We've had Amy Dugan on. Casey Bowles, coach at the University of Oklahoma, also played at the University of Oklahoma. Amanda Frieda, obviously a gold medalist, softball gold medalist, played her college days at UCLA. So it's fun reliving some of the memories here as we watch some great softball here at the Special Olympics North America Invitational. Score is now 10-4 in favor of the home team, Illinois. Illinois has not lost the game yet, and you can tell the reason why. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, the 2014 Special Olympics USA Games will be taking place between June 14th and June 21st. We'll showcase the awe-inspiring abilities of athletes with intellectual disabilities, promote the ideals of acceptance and inclusion through sport, and celebrate the transformative power of the Special Olympics. There will be 3,500 athletes, 1,000 coaches and delegates, 10,000 volunteers, and about 70,000 spectators and families expected. The locations will be the following: Princeton University, Rider University, the College of New Jersey, Mercer County Park, Brunswick Zone for some bowling, the Hun School, the Lawrenceville School, and the Petty School.
Leading off the bottom of the sixth for Team Illinois, third baseman
including softball, some of the sports that will be offered: aquatics, athletics, which is track and field, basketball, bocce, bowling, cycling, flag football, golf, gymnastics, powerlifting, soccer, like we said, softball, tennis, and volleyball. Some of the demonstration sports will be baseball and the triathlon. You can go to 2014specialolympics.org for more information. You can also call 609-482-2292. You can catch the streams on the website as well. We head into the bottom of the sixth inning here. And this one lined at the center field. And this will be caught by Spazzato. Confused me a little bit. Now we're checking to confirm if that was an out or if he trapped it. So it is an out. So we have one out here. Great play by Steve Spazzato out there. That was a good piece of hitting by Darren Dalt, third baseman for Team Illinois. Chad Bromfield up at the plate for Team Illinois.
Broomfield.
Go ahead. Make my day.
This one low for a ball, counting 1-0. 1-1 is the count. Again, we want to thank all the volunteers here, everybody that helped us out specifically to put this broadcast together. Rachel Gary, Steve Carnival. This is grounded to second, over to first to Gallman for the second out of the inning. So two quick outs here for Foreman. Foreman has decided to forego the mask on the mound.
Right center fielder Austin Gay.
Austin Gay, the right center fielder for Team Illinois, made two spectacular catches, really seeming effortless out there in right center field in the top half of the inning. This one is in for a ball. Count now 1-1. This one's skied out to right field. This will drop in for a base hit. Gay hustling all the way to second base. Might try for three, and he's not stopping there. All the way into third. Dives head first, and he's out. Great relay, great play by Oklahoma to end the inning.
What a great play at third base. That was a great aggressive play by not only the runner, but also the right fielder for getting that ball in quick, and a great diving play.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Great hustle there by Gay, going around the bases at full speed the entire time. He was looking three as soon as he came out of the box. So the last ups for Team Oklahoma will be happening right after this. This is Strive's coverage of the 2013 Softball Special Olympics North America Softball Invitational.
A litter-free and environmental.
It was senior year and the whole school was cheering for her. And just seeing the smile on her face and then looking at the whole school and people were crying and people were cheering and just seeing how the whole school came together just for her was the most amazing thing ever.
Special Olympics has changed my life so dramatically.
I truly realize that what I'm doing is for a great cause.
it has helped me a lot to be fearless, you know, in the real world.
I learned that friendship doesn't have limits.
My friends I've made through Special Olympics are the best people I've ever met in my life. And it's not about disabilities, but it's about celebrating their abilities.
It makes you feel like a wonderful person and your life changes forever.
I've made a difference. Now it's your turn to make a difference.
We are champions together.
Making a difference every day.
It's the top of the 7th here. Last chance for Team Oklahoma in the Unified Division game here at Mercer County Park. Team Illinois leading by a score of 10-4. The Fighting Peacocks with their last chance here to either tie the game or keep it going for another inning.
Leading off the 7th for Team Oklahoma, right fielder Justin Dunn.
Justin Dunn at the plate as the first pitch in for a strike. Mark McMahon is on the hill for Team Illinois. So in for a strike, count now 1-2. Okay, so that is the first out of the inning. Can't blame Dunn for wanting to get some more hacks in. He almost convinced everybody.
He wasn't moving out of there. He wanted one more hack.
Robert Sirti about to bat for the Fighting Peacocks of Oklahoma.
Dylan Pruitt, number 5, Robert Kearley.
Kearley. Robert Kearley. We won out here in the top of the 7th inning. Last chance for Oklahoma to tie it up. Casey, how do you feel about these uniforms?
They're definitely peacocky.
Yeah, they're pretty outstanding.
They represent their names very well. The back of their shirts actually are peacock feathers,
yeah.
With the red and blue, and it's an interesting uniform, if you will.
Yeah, it's a great design. You got the Fighting Peacocks down the side, a little blue fusion into red. Kearley takes the first pitch for a strike. This one fouled off down the left field line.
Peacocks really just need to concentrate on getting that first runner on. This being their last inning, just take it pitch by pitch and base by base, and hopefully come back with a few runs.
If you get some runners on base, there are a bunch of people on this team that can put one out. So,
oh, absolutely, I mean, that has completely been shown.
Swing the momentum in their favor, absolutely. For a ball, count now 2-2.
Definitely being patient and waiting on that pitch, that exact pitch that he's looking for.
Are you a proponent of taking a strike? Is there like a certain amount of runs that you need to be down by to do that strategy?
It just depends. It depends on the pitcher. It depends on, are they struggling? Are they are they hitting their spots pretty consistently? It really just depends on the situation. At this point in time, I mean, I would tell my batters to be patient and find the right pitch, not necessarily to take a strike, but just to be very patient.
So Gallman was the last hope for Oklahoma here, with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning, as Kearley went down on strikes. So 2 strikeouts to start the inning off.
Yeah, that's definitely not something you want to start with when you're in this position. This is your last at bats. You really just want to put the ball in play.
Mm-hmm. And I should mention that Oklahoma's their name, the Fighting Peacocks, as Gallman grounds this one to second base. Warden over to first, and that'll do it as Team Illinois takes this one. But the Fighting Peacocks, I just wanted to say this, they had lost a member of their team who loved to give everybody nicknames. So one of the nicknames that he gave out was Peacock. So that's how they got. They changed their name to the Fighting Peacocks. They changed their uniforms, and they really dedicated this whole invitational to him. So
that's a really neat story. I did not know that.
Yeah. So those are some of the great stories that you see here at the Special Olympics. Casey, I wanted to thank you for both games. You were fantastic. Best of luck with you throughout the rest of your career. Hope our paths cross again at some time.
Thank you very, very much for having me. It's been a joy to be out here and watch these athletes, and I look forward to doing it again.
All right, thank you, Casey. So we'll be right back to wrap things up here, to put a bow on it, and don't go anywhere as Illinois defeats Oklahoma by a score of 10-4.
They say that sticks and stones can break bones, but words never hurt. Not true. A single word can isolate and stigmatize. Students with intellectual disabilities are 2 to 3 times more likely to be bullied than their mainstream peers. This is unacceptable.
Students, they started playing with me and abusing me. I didn't understand why they were doing that. When you feel like you are what they are saying, it will take you down.
Special Olympics Project Unify is a program combining inclusive sports, youth leadership and education that teaches young people about intellectual disabilities and fosters positive attitudes of inclusion, respect and friendship. It brings together young people with and without intellectual disabilities. More than 2,000 schools in the United States have adopted Project Unify, and pilot schemes are underway in Austria, Romania, Serbia, Italy and India. Through Project Unify, we're giving students and teachers the tools and training to foster inclusive action and attitudes within their schools, social networks, and communities. And it's working. So far, 78% of participating students say that Project Unify has been a positive turning point in their lives. 75% of school administrators report their students with intellectual disabilities are participating more in school activities. But much more needs to be done. We need to take Project Unify worldwide. We have a long road ahead, but we're already on the way. We can empower more people like Patrick.
People with intellectual disabilities, maybe we don't know many things, but we are good. We can do many good things.
Together, we are stronger. Join us.
And as the teams gather at the pitcher's mound for a closing prayer, Illinois takes down Oklahoma by a score of 10-4. And for everybody here at the Special Olympics, it's been an outstanding weekend. We really saw what leadership is, what teamwork is, what it means to actually be a unified athlete, and what it means to really put something towards a team goal. And this couldn't have been a better experience for us. We were here since 9 o'clock in the morning. We were able to stream 4 of these games, and we really appreciate Special Olympics allowing us to do this and allowing us to be able to broadcast these games. It's been a great day so far. So for Steve Carnival, Amy Dugan, Rachel Gary, Amanda Freed, Casey Bowles, Akil Kumar, Eli Raymond, and everybody here at Strive, I'm Tom Monfiletto signing off, saying thank you and have a great day.